Today I'm going to show you how NIS2 risk management methodology document looks like and how you need to fill it out. And this document is very important for NIS2 because it determines the rules on how to perform a risk assessment and treatment, because otherwise your employees wouldn't know how to do this very important part of cybersecurity compliance. And this document needs to be filled out and implemented at the very start of the project, because this is how you actually determine which kind of security controls you need to implement later on. Okay, I'm showing you now the risk assessment methodology template from Advisera's NIS2 documentation toolkit. So this first page is basically where you typically display this general information about the documents, about the company name, company logo, the code version, date of the version approver, these kind of things. And then on the second page, you normally display change history and table of contents. And then actually starts the main part of the document, and I'll come back to this in a minute. First, I'll explain you how this document is structured. So this purpose, scope, and users, this is where you define who needs to read the document, what is its purpose, and so on. Reference documents, this is where you refer to NIS2, potentially to some other standards like 27001. And then comes the main part where you explain the risk assessment and risk treatment, and you start here with the mandatory cybersecurity measures as prescribed by NIS2, and then define the risk management principles. Again, you follow NIS2 here, and then you explain the risk assessment process, assets and suppliers, vulnerabilities, threats, risk owners, these kind of things. And then you have to define risk acceptance criteria, and then how the risk treatment is performed, and these regular reviews of risk assessment and the risk treatment plan, and finally reporting. Okay, now let's go to the main part of the documents, purpose, scope, and users. As you can see here in the text, you have these square brackets, these placeholders, where you have to fill out some information that is specific for your company. So in this case, your company name, let's say this is Test Incorporated. And you simply move on. In the reference documents, you have this reference to NIS2, to other documents that you might have for this purpose. And then you move on to the main section 3. This is where you refer to these mandatory clauses. It's best that you leave it as it is. Risk management principles, again, the best to leave it as it is because this is according to NIS2. And then you have to define the process, and again, you have to insert some information. So the risk assessment process is coordinated by, and then you have to insert who is this for your company. And you also have some suggestions here on who this might be. So these comments in the document actually help you fill out everything that you need. So let's say that the whole process is coordinated by, let's say, CISO. So I simply insert this here. And you also should define who is in charge of identifying threats and vulnerabilities and asset owners. Again, you have a suggestion here on who this might be and how you can actually change this. And once you read a comment, you can simply delete it, and this is not to get into way. And this is how you go section by section and fill this out. So let me show you also how you can adapt this. So for example, you have these scales for assessing the level of impact and likelihood. You might use these scales of 1 to 5. But if you want to use smaller scales, you can simply delete these two levels, and you can then have low, medium, and high. So you simplify the whole assessment process through this. So again, the point is here that this template is very adaptable to whatever needs you might have in your company. Of course, you can also adapt your headers and footers, insert your company name, confidentiality level, also the version of the document, these kind of things. Now, the main decisions that you will have to make around this risk management methodology is how you're going to list the risks. So how are you going to use this methodology of listing assets and threats and vulnerabilities, and also which kind of scales are you going to use for impact and likelihood. And this is typically made between the person in charge of security, so this could be a security officer or CISO, and the senior management. So this person in charge of security needs to present this suggestion to the senior management, and senior management needs to approve this. Other challenges related to this document are basically, how these people that needs to start doing the risk assessment, how to actually train them for this kind of job. And another challenge is, taking time to write this document thoroughly. Now, with regards to training of these people, you typically have two options. One is to organize some kind of a workshop with all the people who will be doing the risk assessment. and to explain to this group of people how this is done in this workshop. The other option would be to simply organize interviews with each and every person who will be doing the risk assessment and do actually the risk assessment with this person together. And to resolve the challenge of having too much to write, I'll show you now how to use this document wizard from Advisera's AI-powered toolkit to speed up the writing of this document. Okay, when you log into this NIS2 documentation toolkit software, you'll see these folders. So let's move on to the folder number 5, risk management methodology. And you click this link here to open the document wizard. And as you will see, the wizard already suggests you a couple of items that you have to fill out. So the name of the person to approve this document, and it already pre-fills them. Why? Because I already filled these items out for the previous documents, and then the software remembered that I did this, and it automatically suggests this for all the further documents. So it speeds up actually the writing of the document. Also, confidentiality level, internal use. Who is in charge of coordinating risk assessment and treatment? Let's say this is, I don't know, risk officer. And then move on next. Job title in charge of managing security, CISO. Legal officer, let's say move on next. Validity and document management to approve the document, CTO. Okay, and then you simply click download, and you will see that this document is automatically created in a couple of seconds. Okay, then I simply click the document. And you can now see this document, how it looks like when it opens. It's a little bit different than the document that I was showing you previously. This one already has this logo automatically inserted because the software, the wizard, remembered that I uploaded this logo for some previous documents and then inserted it automatically, also this document name. When we scroll down, you will see that it also inserted the approver from the wizard, the confidentiality level. You will see this is also in the header as well. When I move further, you will see that they inserted also some other things. This is also inserted from the wizard. Let me see if there is anything else. Yeah, so for example here, the risk assessment process is coordinated by risk officer. If you remember, this is what I entered through this wizard. So the point is, the more you use this wizard, the quicker each new document will become. Hope this was helpful, and to see this risk management methodology for yourself, sign up for the free trial of NIS2 Toolkit. Click the link to the toolkit in the description below, and you'll be able to see the free demo of this document and also other documents from the toolkit, and you can also try how this document wizard works. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below, not to miss my new videos. Thanks for watching.